You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good afternoon and hello, kids and cubs. Yes, you are not seeing things incorrectly. I am not in the nation's capital, but welcome to our Canada Day special. Unfortunately, the body said no.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah. So me and my good friend Imodium are spending a lot of time together, unfortunately. So I'm missing out on my second favorite day of the year. But that does not mean that we can't share in the joy and celebrate in our own way. Welcome to our Canada Day special. As always, with me is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly. Of course, today, recording day, is Saturday, July 1st, 2023, Canada Day. Thank you to our sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. Mr. Grizzly, how's your mental health today?
Good. It's Canada Day. It's my favorite day of the year, so I'm in pretty darn good spirits, to be honest with you. And I don't know if you saw my Twitter feed earlier, but I started out the day at my friend Lisa has a. Pardon?
I've been in bed all day.
Oh well, I started out with going to my friend Lisa. She has a brunch every Canada Day, an open house brunch, and I was able to get my hot tub red Speedo picture, so it's posted on my Twitter feed.
Oh,
For those of you who want to see it. In the hot tub with a beer in hand. Didn't stay in the hot tub for more than 3 minutes, though, because it's 35 degrees in Ottawa right now with humidity, so it was not refreshing, to say the least.
Oh, my word. Is it really that? Oh, my God. Oh, I would not have fared well had I pushed through.
No, you would have suffered.
I wouldn't be doing the show. I don't think I would have made it. Oh, my
Probably
word.
not.
Oh, yeah.
It's very hot and humid and sticky right now in Canada's capital, so alas.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I think the nation needs to see this. Of course, we will make sure that our regular Monday to Friday crowd sees this, because you can't see this just once. What have we got going on here? We can't see this just once. So this is version 2023.
Yes.
There you go.
Red Speedo for Canada Day with a beer in a hot tub.
There you go.
It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. So
You saw it here first, kids. Oh, Kit Linda, we blame Locke Douglas Real better. Nah. I love the guy. I think he's great.
he's a good lad.
Oh yeah, he's a good lad. I love him. He's great. Because I love how passionate he is.
I sent him and Dean. Send him and Dean the picture.
I'd
You
rather
should
have
check your
someone.
Twitter DM. You were on the thread, so you'll have.
Okay. Yeah, I've been off social media all day. Um, I was just watching a little bit before we came on the noon hour special, and that was on TV, and so I was just having fun that way, seeing what I missed. Had I been
I
there,
didn't check
because
it either.
I was planning to go down there and capture some images, and then we were going to load them up and play them over the course of the show. But again, nature said no. um, so I'm not sure I want to do politics, right? Because this is a pubcast, but I
No,
mean, it is Canada Day.
no.
So is
I
there
don't have the
anything?
stomach for politics today.
No.
No, I don't. No, not today. I need happy, joyful times today. Just because,
Yeah.
it's like, well. And last night, last night in Ottawa, we had the Ottawa Red Blacks were playing the Edmonton Elks, and they won. I didn't go to the game because I was debating on going to see Herbie Hancock, but I didn't end up going to that either because by the time we left the pub, it's like I have to go home and lie down. I was in bed
Yeah.
at 9:30 last night. I was exhausted. Been a
Yeah.
long week, that happens.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing red and blue, and check out. You can see. Can you see the earring from here?
I can see them. Yes. Well, I see the bling. I can't make out what they are, though.
It's a maple leaf Canadian flag lapel pin. It's not an
Ah,
earring; it's a lapel pin.
oh, it's the actual pin. Ah,
Yeah, it's an actual pin. I do
way
it
to
every year for
go.
Canada Day.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Ah, so no, I same here. Same here. I want some happy stuff too. Um, so you know, yes, there we go. There we go. Thank you, Kit Linda M. I loved watching the new citizens singing the national anthem. That was a good thing. I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I knew it was coming. Um, but yeah, that's I'm in the mood for some gratitude and knowing, like as we mentioned on the show, knowing there are some people for whom the day uh, doesn't mean for
It's
them what it
difficult.
means for us. I mean, and if you are there and if you are listening, please share. Right?
Oh
No
yes,
reason not
yeah.
to share that. Right? That's the one exception to the rule. Let's put it that way. Um, but yeah, if you have some gratitude, if you are um, doing anything to celebrate, if you have some photos of what you've done earlier today and you like to share them, if you want to share a little bit what it is that you love about being Canadian or love about living in Canada, yeah, just share them and we'll read the comments and let's just have a little bit of a fun loving today.
That's the idea, anyway.
Yeah,
That's what I want. No
absolutely.
stress. No
Now,
stress today, man.
yes, yes. So, apologies. Just to let you know if I'm a little low energy, but all the spirit is in there, and
Thank
I
you.
may be munching a little bit on some stuff that my sweetie made me to try and settle my tummy. So, um, just so you know.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
So you said the Red Blacks won.
Yeah, they did. They won last night. Thankfully, I didn't get to see any of the game, but yeah, they kicked butt. They 26-6, I think was the final score. I could be off on that, but yeah. So they won. It's their first victory of the season. Thank goodness. About time. Considering it is only their third game, but they were expected. They were expected to win.
Oh, okay. This was one. Okay. Well, because I mean, last season, if I remember correctly, it was a little rough, right? In terms
Yes,
of the
it was a
wins.
losing season. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was. And
Okay.
this year wasn't looking too great to begin with, but I think they're going to turn it around. The thing about having a team, if you start losing before you get that first win, it's really difficult on your psyche. But once you get that first win, you feel like, okay, we can do this. They tend to play better, and the wins come a little bit more frequently after that. I find, at least that's been my experience.
Okay. So the Owls and the Stampeders they lost to already. Okay. Well, that's a good win then. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Good stuff. Um, I really don't know what to say actually right
You're
now
you're
because
you're all
I'm not
you're all
particularly
you're all
prepared for
tuckered out.
anything. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because I had to sort of plan for the day. I
Well, it's
was,
kind of Bridget wanted to have you and Alex over for dinner tonight, and I was like, well, they're not here. They're in Kingston because Douglas isn't feeling good. She's like, oh, so she still
yeah,
hasn't met Alex yet.
yeah. We had Alex's brother and sister and my nephew and niece came over. They were on their way to Tremblant, so they stopped in for dinner last night. Um, and we made burgers. We had bison burgers. So
Mm,
put some cheese inside the burger.
yes.
And had some fries and stuff, and spent a little time with the kids, and then they took off. And by the time that happened, it was like we're going to be driving at night, and we probably won't do that, so we'll just leave tomorrow morning. And then 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like, hello.
Yeah, that's a
So
little late.
yeah, the game got switched up a little bit. Uh, but it was really nice. It was really nice to see them, especially give a chance to give Marco a hug after his valedictorian speech,
Cool.
right? Yeah. So
He's
that was
going what into high school?
he's
He
going
was
into
eighth
high
grade,
school
was
now.
it?
Yeah, he's taller than I am. He's taller than I am
How
already.
old is he? How old is he?
14, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
13, 14. When I met him the first time, when he was like just this tiny little thing, I just took one look at his hands. I said, "Oh, he's going to be a tall one."
Yeah.
You could tell right there and there. Yeah.
Yeah, my oldest nephew is like 6'4",
Yeah.
and he's 16. He's still growing. He's
Oh my
still
word.
growing. Yeah, he's going to be big.
Yeah.
Well, his dad's a big guy, so he'll be a big guy.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know if he'll. I don't know if he'll be. If he'll remain, because right now he hasn't started filling out yet, so he's still, you know, not gangly because he's proportionate,
Yeah.
but it's still kid body, stretching out yet. It
Yeah.
hasn't
Yeah.
starting to become young man body yet, right? So when that, so I can't tell whether or not he'll be broad or anything like that, but my word, he just zoop. And now with Christina
Yeah.
started since I last saw her, she started to sprout up as well. I just saw her come into the door and was like, dang. It's only about a month and a half ago I saw you. You grew. Oh boy.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
I realize I'm a little subdued right now too. This smoke has been getting to me, so I'm loading up on antihistamines. So I'm a little logy today, to say the least, as a
Oh,
result, because it's smoky and it's 35 degrees with humidity. So there's a few people on the patio, but they don't want to stay out too long because if it wasn't for the smoke, the humidity wouldn't be that bad, really.
really?
If it was
Yeah.
sunny, it wouldn't be so terrible, but the smoke just makes it unpleasant.
Mm.
You know,
So that would explain why on TV the Little Breton Flats didn't seem as full.
yeah, people are just staying in right now. I don't know how busy LeBreton Flats will be. They're using the Blues Fest stage.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it in cooperation with Blues Fest. So I guess they pay for it. I don't know how that works, but yeah, they're doing Blues Fest stage because Blues Fest starts like a couple of days later, right?
Yeah,
So you know,
right.
starts
But
on
it's
Tuesday or Wednesday next week. I can't remember.
I have to look that up. Sorry. But I mean, from TV, I mean, it's the Blues Face stage. So I mean, it's a great stage.
Oh yeah,
So everything looked well, but yeah, it seemed rather sparsely attended.
yeah.
But Le Breton Flats is also huge, right?
Yes, it's very big.
Space
But I think
wise.
there's a bunch of idiots protesting on the hill for some reason.
Oh,
Really? Like, really?
well, it's not an indigenous protest, I'm guessing.
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
It's idiots again.
yes, it's idiots. Yep.
I can understand an indigenous protest on Canada Day on the Hill, and I don't have an issue with that at all. But these are just convites or covidiots, or I don't know what the name of them for is, but they're just up there raising hell.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm one of your tenants.
Oh, do you want to come in? Sit.
Oh, not on camera though.
Oh, okay. No worries. No worries.
just want to say thank you for your morning podcast.
Oh,
I
you're
really
welcome.
like it.
I'm glad you enjoy it. Oh, okay. Cool. It was nice to
Oh,
meet you.
Same here.
Yeah.
hi,
Good luck.
thanks.
Thank you.
Douglas.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. So yeah,
How cool
a
is
fan
that?
came in to say hello. Yeah. Came in to say hello. She says, loves the podcast. Thanks for the morning show every day, and says hi to you. I'm sure you could hear that, right?
I heard it. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah. That's
first.
pretty awesome. Let's see. Yeah, there's a
That's a
few people
first.
on the hill.
Oh, I'm sad to have missed it in person.
Yeah,
See?
if you go to Parliament Hill webcam.ca, so Parliament Hill webcam.ca, I'm not going to pull it up because it'll fry my computer. But if you want to pull it up, you can we can show what Parliament Hill looks like right now. You can share that. It's just if I try and do it, it's going to cook my processor, and I don't need to put any more taxing things on this than I already have.
All right, take a look there.
Hey Pete, how's it going, brother?
Oh,
I'll just put that up.
Pete.
Yeah, you can see there's a few people on the hill, not a lot. I mean, that's you get more people on the hill on Wednesday for yoga because they do yoga every Wednesday on Parliament Hill from 12 to 1 p.m. and you get a lot of people there for it. So
It's fun.
yeah,
I've done
it's a
it.
good
It's
time.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have time. I only have 30 minutes for lunch, and I never actually take lunch because I end up. That's one of the busiest times of the day for me. So, but
Right.
I can see them coming and going from the roof.
Kit Pete says I'm up way too late and I may be tipsy. Well, hey. That's good because it's a party.
It's a good time, Pete. It's a
It's a
good
good
time.
time, Pete. What about
Celebrating Canada Day properly, did you?
yeah? Bottoms up, right? Down under.
Yes. Yeah. Down under.
Mm,
You've heard of a French kiss. Have you ever heard of an Australian kiss?
no.
It's like a French kiss, only it's down under.
Oh,
An
oh.
Aussie kiss. Come on, that's good. That's good.
Kit,
Write it down.
Kit,
That's a good one.
Kit Elaine says that's Highland dancers, etc. on the hill, not protesters. Is
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay.
that what it is?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure. I know that they were protesting on Wellington Street the other day. I think a bunch of them got arrested
Mm.
because they were being rather unruly. Like there's a protest and then there's being unruly, and they were being unruly a-holes, which is, how they usually behave anyway. So a bunch of them got carted off, and I'm like, oh, darn, what a shame.
Mm.
You
Mm.
get
Mm.
what you deserve. You FA, you FO, right?
Convites are in the middle of Wellington, says Kitty Lane. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, there we
Kit Pete says, well, I'm in between jobs, so something about being visiting
Maybe
Canada.
visiting Canada again soon. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. He's in between jobs, so you got some free time. Yeah, why
Oh,
don't you hop on a flight and come on up, brother?
what? Did Canada Day just become my birthday? Did it just become Christmas?
I guess. Sure seems like it anyway.
Oh my God. That would be so nice. That would be so nice. Ah, Kitlan M. Gurdip
Yeah,
Panther did a
cool.
video today doing Bhangra dancing with the Highland dancer and Indigenous dancers all together. Well, let's go find that. Thank you, Kitlan M.
That'd
And
be awesome.
our Canada Day producer and programmer today, Kitlan M. Hey, we're looking
I
for
got a
some help.
buddy who's wants to meet me here for a beer. He says, "Hey, you up for a pint at the pump?" And I just sent him the link to the to the PubCast. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm on my way." I don't know if he's going to sit in for a pint or not. If he wants to appear on camera. Not everybody wants to be on camera, and I understand that. But hey,
Okay.
have a
Okay.
seat. We'll have a beer. We'll have a chat.
Okay. Here's the first thing. I did not know that this had happened. So this is some good news because on Gurdeep's Twitter feed, his pinned tweet is this, and I don't know how we missed this.
Let me just put this up here.
I'm going to blow that up a little bit there. I am utterly touched and humbled to have received the honorary doctorate degree, Doctor of Laws honoris causa, from Memorial University of Newfoundland and Labrador at their convocation yesterday. I am also speechless
Oh, wow.
because the sentiment of profound gratitude which is continuously twirling in the innermost layer of my heart is beyond words. I am equally honored that there are people and their organizations who recognize the power of physical movement, value of bringing people together through art, need of building cross-cultural bridges, and importance of messages of joy, hope, and positivity for healing and growing. Lastly, I am delighted that the efforts to include the natural environment of the Yukon Territory, frozen snowy
Thank you.
landscapes of northern Canada, and frigid sub-zero temperatures, which are usually backdrops elements of my videos, also received deep appreciation. Thanks, Memorial you, dear people of Newfoundland and Labrador, all Canadians, and the universe for this pure love.
So,
And look at that,
lovely lady that just
smile.
came and said hello a minute ago. The lovely
Pardon?
woman who came over and said hello. The lovely woman who came over and said hello a few minutes ago.
Yes?
She just brought me a beer. So there's a fan.
Oh,
I mean, I'm a fan of hers now. Okay, you bring me a beer, I'm a fan. That's how it works.
how amazing is that?
Yeah. I'm like, awesome. She just put the beer down, smiled, and waved. I'm like, oh, thank you. That you found a way to my heart. Well, so I said to Bridget, I go, you want to make me happy? If you show up with beer and hand me a sandwich, man, that's just like it. That's the way to my heart. Beer and food, yeah.
We literally have the best kids. Okay, look at that man smile. Look at that man smile.
Yeah.
One happy dude.
People have started to refer to him as Gurdeep of the Yukon, which I think is pretty cool, right? Because he emigrated here from India and he moved to the Yukon right away. And I'm like, my God, that must have freaked him out when he first got there. But that was his lifelong dream, is to go there. And that's where he lives. And I'm like, damn, that's awesome. And of course, he tours around the country teaching people Bhangra. And I love how I've seen him in Newfoundland teaching Bhangra to locals, but you've also got an Indo community in St. John's, and they're out doing Bhangra with him. And I'm like, that is just kick-ass.
Yeah. So this is the thing Linda M. was speaking of. Gurdeep Panda of the Yukon on Canada Day, a Punjabi Celtic fusion while paying respect to the Indigenous peoples. On Canada Day, we take a moment to acknowledge that we are on Indigenous lands, thinking about the profoundness of this fact. Furthermore, we reflect upon Canada's past and recognize the vital importance of the future steps towards truth and reconciliation. I cannot wait to see this. All right, let's make sure we got the volume. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that seems to be having issues here on my end.
Here's my home. I love it as no other. Where man is free to ply his trade, and each to each is brother. This Canada, here's my home. I love it as no other. A man is free to ply his trade, and each to each is brother. The hills and glens that I love well, the rolling surf that charms me, the lake, the speckled trout lie still, and all is peace around me. In summer's warmth and winter's cold, in fog and storm and sunshine, whatever its mood, my heart is here and will remain for all time. This Canada, here's my home. I love it as no other. A man is free to ply his trade, and each to each is brother. The hills and glens that I love well, the rolling surf that charms me, the lake, the speckled trout lie still, and all is peace around me. In summer's warm and winter's cold, in fog and storm and sunshine. Whatever its mood, my heart is here and will remain for all time. A lake with speckled trout lies still, and all is peace around me, and all is peace around me.
We take a moment to acknowledge that we are on indigenous lands, thinking about the profoundness of this fact. Furthermore, we reflect upon Canada's past and recognize the vital importance of the future steps towards truth and reconciliation.
Well, that was
Okay.
cool.
That was wild. I love that. And Kitland M, you said exactly what I was thinking. All different, but it's also remarkable how similar the different dancing forms are.
Hmm.
Indeed.
Well, there's a there's a band because Pete made a comment. He says Irish and Indian and Native Canadian and well more. I think. Well, there's a band out of I think they're out of Montreal originally. My buddy went to university with them, and they're called Delhi to Dublin because they play traditional Celtic music and mix it with Bhangra. So it's kind of cool. Delhi to Dublin.
Wow. That would be cool. I would like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool.
Pete says, I still wish to see Newfoundland. It is gorgeous.
I'm going to be there. I'm going this summer. I'll be there in a couple of weeks, actually.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Tell me more.
Yeah, my buddy and I were taking a road trip. He's going to fly in. He's living in Calgary right now. He's going to fly in, stay here for a couple of days, and then we're going to jump in the car and drive down to Newfoundland. Stop and see some sights along the way, and visit some friends and some family, and yeah, just have a general good time making our way out to the Rock Pie.
Oh, that's fantastic. We went for Canada.
Visiting a buddy in Twillingate.
Okay. Yeah. Beaver Sweetie and I went for Canada 150. It was the one province I
Okay.
hadn't been to or through yet. I was like, it was just, well, we got really lucky. We got 9 beautiful, gorgeous days in Newfoundland.
Yeah,
It was like only a little bit
those are
of
probably
drizzle.
the only 9 that year.
Yeah, really. It's gorgeous here. Everybody kept on saying, don't get used to it.
I get used to it. Yeah. If Newfoundland, if you don't like the weather, by just wait 5 minutes. She's changing, eh? And that's honest to goodness truth. I was talking to my friend Chrissy last week, and she's like, I haven't seen the sun in 6 weeks. It's been overcast and raining constantly in St. John's. So it's been really hard on the people because,
Mm.
that much rain will take it out of anybody.
Yeah, yeah. We spent 9 days. We spent, I think, 3 or 4 in St. John's and the rest in the Bonavista Vista area.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Bonavista Vista Bay.
gorgeous.
Well, there's Trinity Bay. So there's Trinity in Trinity Bay, and then there's Trinity Bonavista Bay. Trinity Bay and Bonavista Bay. So Trinity B Bay, they call it.
Okay.
Trinity
Yeah.
Bonavista Bay. Yeah.
Yes,
We
we
have
did that.
friends there. That's where I went jigging cod. And the whales popped up. Like there's a school of cod that we hit a school because the whales were feeding, and the whale's tail popped up like 4 or 5 meters away from us. And we're just in a little fishing dory, right?
Okay.
And I look at the guys, and they get white as a ghost. And I'm thinking, what's that? How cool is this? As I'm jigging the cod, and they're all freaking out because if it comes up under the boat and flips us, we're as good as dead.
Mm.
I mean, it was April. No, it was April. No, it was August. Sorry. So it was warm out, but that's the North Atlantic. That water is ice cold all the time, and you can't last long in it. So yeah, they were paranoid because if it came up under the boat, say goodbye.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we could have got to shore, but I don't know if you'd be able to swim because you'd have to peel off your clothes to try and swim, and if you peel off your clothes, you're going to freeze. So your extremities will. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
all was good. Nothing bad
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. No, we had a wonderful time there. I remember doing the Skerwink Trail, and we get to a part where there's sort of this plateau above where the ocean is, and we're sitting there, and we stopped there to have to have lunch that we packed, and we're having some sandwiches on a blanket and stuff, and we hear like there's like whales out there just swimming,
Hmm.
playing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
there
that's
you
what
go.
they do. Yeah.
I think on the first day we got there, we went to we got on one of those. They're not dinghies; they're a little sturdier.
Dory. Yeah.
Pardon?
A
A what?
dory.
A dory. Yeah,
A dory.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, and we went
Yeah.
to go see an iceberg, and we had hoped to see whales that day, and we didn't. It didn't happen. But everything on that day, particularly, was calm and still, like crazy. So we got as close as we could to one, because they could flip at any moment, and you don't want to be there
Hmm.
when that happens.
No,
Um,
you don't.
but that was only one of two times in my life, and it's really weird, where nature and stillness together and just being alone
Hmm.
was just so overwhelming that I ended up crying because it was just
Hmm.
so beautiful. And they were on both coasts. So that was in Newfoundland where we were seeing an iceberg. And then the other time was I was on Gambier Island, complete on the other side in British Columbia.
Hmm.
I was at a friend's place, and she was cooking, and she says, go outside and see what it's like. And I was just sitting there, and it was a really sort of like gray and misty day.
Hmm.
Yes, and you could see the whole ocean, the really tall trees, and the rocks and all of that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, just out of the blue, an eagle swoops through. And I was
Very
like, oh
cool.
my God, it's just so beautiful. And the tears. Because it's like when you get like pure quiet,
Hmm.
it's just you alone, I guess, and you're out in nature, it's amazing how you can be overwhelmed by how beautiful it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I experienced a lot of that when I was in Botswana. Um,
Oh my God, I can imagine that.
the trip. So we drove 1,000 kilometers from the south of the country to the north of the country to go to Chobe, which is a game reserve, and 45 minutes away is Victoria Falls. So it's like we took in Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe at the same time. But the drive there, they don't have roads like we have here, right? It's a developing country, but I've never hit an animal in my life until that day. Ran over a mongoose, hit a bird, it bounced off the windshield, left
Oh,
the imprint of it on there. A truck went by us that was carrying stones, but it didn't have a cover on it, so 27 stone chips in the windshield. Yeah,
whoa.
it was a trip. Yeah, and at one point we stopped to get gas, and goats just walk up and start picking at the grill, and I'm like, "What are they doing?" My dad's like, "They're eating the bugs." Yeah, they are. They're eating the bugs right out of the grill of the car. We don't get that at home. He's like, "Nope, no, we don't."
Wow.
And the thing is, when he gets out of the car, he says, everybody stay in the car. I'll get out first and make sure it's clear. I'm like, what? He has to jump out of the car, and then he takes a stick and runs it under the wheel wells because the green mamba will get up in there and nest in there. And if you're not careful, you know, it'll get you. And it's, I think, seven of the 10 most deadliest venomous snakes on Earth are in Botswana.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the green
So,
mamba, the black mamba, yeah, they would nest up underneath the wheel wells. So when you get out of your car, you have to jump because they might come out at you. Anyway, yeah, we were good. Never had that encounter, but things you learn when you travel, right?
jeez.
Yeah.
I just uh, I was able to find some of the pictures actually back in of that
From
iceberg.
the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest are in Australia. That's right, Pete.
So here we go. Let's try that.
There's a berg.
Yeah, we got them from
That's a big berg because
various
look at the boat next to it, right?
angles. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So I'll bring that one back up actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, right
look at the boat
there.
next to it to give you a sense of scale, how big that is.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you're there, it's just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. This, and then depending on where you are, how the light hits it,
Hmm.
there you go. All of a sudden, Not sure if it comes across, but the iceberg is more blue.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they'll
from
be
this
over
end.
there chipping off chunks of it for iceberg vodka.
We actually
That's
had it.
for real.
We
Yeah.
actually saw a piece. We fished one out like this. So we had a little a glacier thing.
Mm.
Where's the other one? And I think this is the one that did me in. Hold on.
Just a sec there.
When we were in front of it, just that close.
Yeah, that's a pretty beastly. And you
And
got to
look,
remember, most of it is underwater, right?
right, and that water is very still, as you can see.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So you're way out there. There was only two of us and the driver in the boat that day. We didn't have anybody else.
Well, that looks like that broke off of an ice shelf somewhere because you see how jagged and rugged it is on the one side and smooth on the other.
Yeah,
So that must have been a bigger berg at one point and then just broke.
yeah. And you're just sitting there, and there's nothing but just like the little wave of the wave. There's
Mm.
no sound other than just the air around you,
Yeah.
whatever nature sound there might be. And you're just sitting there in front of this really majestic thing. That's it's so huge when you're in front of
Mhm.
it.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen the berg. It's quite something to see.
Yeah,
People like to go iceberg watching too, eh? And it's like it's pretty trippy when you get that close to it to think, this is what took down. This could be, and I sincere. This could be the one that sank the Titanic, right? We don't know.
right.
Could still be floating out there. It could be. I mean, it's ice. It's it doesn't have a life cycle like we do.
Right.
So it could still be floating it for all we know.
Yeah. You know what? Since we're talking travel here, um, uh, let's go through the provinces. Have you been to Nova Scotia?
Yeah, many times.
Yeah.
Well, I lived in New Brunswick and Newfoundland, so I've been to Nova Scotia many times.
Right. What do you have?
The only place I haven't been is the territories.
Oh,
So Yukon, Nunavut, and Northwest Territories. I've not been up there yet. Well, I've been to Newfoundland, but I've not been to Labrador. I lived in Newfoundland, but I haven't been to Labrador yet.
mhm.
So that's at some point I want to get the lab, but I do want to get up north. But the problem is, it's cheaper for me to fly to New Delhi, India, for 2 weeks than it is to travel to Yellowknife.
Yeah. I had the good fortune of being in Yellowknife. I had to go for work once, so we got to be there for
Mhm.
2-3 days. It's gorgeous. It is
Oh, yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Just the ruggedness of the terrain, and
Yeah, you want to join? You got a mic and a headset. My buddy, sorry, there's somebody here. My buddy's he's in Kingston. He's normally here with me, but he wasn't feeling good today, so he's in Kingston. So yeah, I'm going to be on for another 45 minutes to an hour, roughly. Okay, I'll be here. Sorry about that. Just a buddy popped in there.
yeah, no worries, no worries. So yeah, just wondering that, like, if you in Nova Scotia, or do you have a Nova Scotia story or something that you like about the place, or a place you like particularly?
A story? Not really a story. I did a road trip one night at the last minute because I was bored and went down to Halifax. Met up with some friends and hung out for a couple of days, and then came home. We literally, it was my buddy who says, let's go see Heather. I'm like, okay. So we just hopped in the car and drove 90 miles an hour the whole way. He had a radar detector and we knew the road. I don't recommend you do that. And that's like 35 years ago.
Mm.
It's got to be 35 years ago. Close to it. 1986.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1986. Yeah. Yeah. And my 75 Olds Cutlass Supreme. That's a good car.
Cool. For us, it was when we were doing that trip. When we left Newfoundland, we decided to take the ferry back. So we got off at Cape Breton Island. And,
Yeah.
we went to Louisbourg. because I'd
Okay.
the Fortress. I'd been there before, and I thought that Alex would really love that kind of stuff. And there was a place in there where you can actually have authentic food from the era, like in the authentic
Hmm.
dishes. Like the really really heavy metal bowls and that type of stuff. So yeah, I know, but well, I mean, maybe updated for the times, but but
Of
for the
course.
most part, like it, right? Um, Apparently, according to him, it was one of his best meals on the entire trip. He loved it. He said it's almost like Romanian food, traditional Romanian food. It's great. uh,
A little bit of bland, I think, for me, but whatever.
uh,
Everybody's different.
it
I'd like the spicy, that.
Yeah, it turned out really well actually because it was a gorgeous day. But there was we happened to be there while that sort of almost had like uh, there was an event going on with it where you had actual blacksmiths and actual like people who apply the trades from the area still getting there
Right.
and mixed in, and it was a great
Sort of
day.
like Upper Canada Village.
Yeah, a bit like that, right? I guess which is not normally the case, but the week we were there happened to be that, and we it was a great day, but there was like cloud burst. So were like hiding under like this little ledge, and then we were like making our way, and that's when we decided to go eat, and we went to the restaurant. So that soup was particularly good
Mm,
at that moment because we were a little wet.
mm.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we spent a couple of days in there and in Nova Scotia, and we went down to Lunenburg and Peggy's Cove and Malone Bay, and that was really nice. It was gorgeous. Unfortunately, the blue nose was not there.
You know what? I've never been on the Blue Nose,
Yeah.
and we're gonna try and get on it on the way, because my buddy's not. He's been to Newfoundland, but he's never driven it. And I'm like, I think the road trip will be funny because you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Because we'd kicked around the idea of flying into St. John's, renting a car, and then driving up the Twilling Gate. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't we just make the whole drive? Be a little less expensive. We can split the costs. And my Honda Civic doesn't, I put an eyedropper with fuel in it, and it's good for like 1,000 kilometers. So
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, when we did it, we had
it's just a cheaper. No, you can,
pardon? Something
nothing.
happened.
I didn't say anything.
You kind of all fast forwarded all at once.
No, I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, when we did it, we I think it was WestJet was having a really great sale to Newfoundland
Mhm.
specifically. So we got one of those there, and when we took the ferry back, and we got a plane from Moncton back. But the rest of it, the entire time we were there, we did it by car, by bus, or by train, getting from place to place to
Right.
place. We went through, so we
So
did a lot
planes,
of it on.
trains, and automobiles.
Yeah, exactly. So and ferries. uh, Alex surprisingly did not like the ferry.
Really?
Moved around a little too much.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I have better
It can
sea
be a
legs.
little off. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the seas are rough, it's not pleasant.
Mm.
Like it
hmm
really isn't.
Yeah. So we and then we did that trip. We went into Prince Edward Island, of course, which is just fantastic. We got to go sailing in the harbor one day, which was really nice. Um, we did the lobster thing, of course, uh, which was great. And the Anna Green Gables thing, of course, which was great.
Mhm.
But the last time we were there, we got to go to the other side of the island because normally we just always stayed in the Charlottetown and go to in that area, but we went on a beach at the other side of the island. And I'm not quite sure. I don't remember the name for the life of me now. Um,
I don't
but
know. I don't know.
they're like white sand beaches. They're just
Oh yeah, it's
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yeah, water's a little chilly though,
Yes,
and the sharks in that water now too. So
yes, yes.
yeah.
But we loved. It wasn't my first time on PEI, but it's if I'm in the area, I absolutely have to stop in there. It's a must. I absolutely have to make time. Plus, I've got some really cool friends there. So, um,
I haven't been to
well,
PEI in about Last time I
Pardon?
was in PEI, there's no bridge.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
that's how
been a
long
while
it's
then.
been since I've been there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll have time to make the trip to PEI because it's out of the way for us.
Mhm.
Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, it's like you take the bridge there. That's free. You want to leave? Yeah, it's $25. Yeah.
I think it's about
What?
50 now, I think, or something.
It's gone up. Yeah, it's not cheap.
No.
Um, I think it's less than the ferry, but I'm not sure by how much.
Hmm.
If it's even less than the ferry. I mean, I've taken the ferry, right? Because like I said, the last time I was there was no bridge. So
Right.
you know,
Hmm.
I didn't even have my driver's license the last time we went. So I must have been about 14 or 15 at the time. So it's quite a while ago.
All right. What about New Brunswick?
Well, I used to live in New Brunswick, so my mother's from New Brunswick. I'm
Oh, yeah.
related
That's
to.
true.
If I go to Miramichi, I'm related to half the place. So yeah, I know New Brunswick well. Well, Irish family, right? So go
Yeah.
forth and prosper. And my mom was one of 11 children, so you know.
Hmm. Hmm. I forgot to mention for Nova Scotia, my dad is from there. I haven't been to Truro yet, which is where he's from. So the
Okay,
next time I go to Nova Scotia, I want to do that. See if there's a. I don't. I don't. I really don't know. Really, I think it just would be cool to see. But it's not
maybe you're
like there's
related to
anything
the
there
Rock.
anymore. Pardon?
Maybe you're related to the Rock
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
because his father, Rocky Johnson, was from Truro.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that
he
would
only died
explain.
like a year or two ago.
Hmm. Okay. Cool. Cool. In New Brunswick, my oh, Steve, if you're listening, hello. Stephen is element. Hold on, elementary. I was going to say primary again,
Mm,
but that's French. Elementary school friend who lives out there now and has uh, um, eyewear shop
mhm.
actually. Has a beautiful family, and he was Steve was the cool guy in
Mhm.
school who happened to be okay with being friends with the nerd.
So that worked out well.
It helped a lot.
Yeah, kept you from kept you from getting stuffed in the locker. I would assume getting swirlies.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Um, so yeah, yeah, he's a good guy. And last time we were there, we got to spend some time together, which was great. But
Mm.
I love Fundy National Park and camping there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a gorgeous
What's
place.
the Gross Mourne National Park is a place I need to spend some time in.
I heard that
I don't know if
that's
I'll be able to do it this trip.
fantastic.
Oh, it's breathtaking, dude. You drive the fjords and it's like I'm in Norway. I You look like you're in Norway. It's unbelievable. And when you land at Port Basque off the ferry, it's like I'm I'm in Ireland. How did I get to Ireland? Look at this. It's Ireland. Well, they were attached at one point, right? Like a few
Right.
million years ago. Continental shelf, continental divide. But that's people who've from Ireland who've been to Newfoundland. It feels just like home. People are the same. People take care of you around here. It's good. It's good. Don't have enough Guinness available though. That's the problem in there. It's changed since then, but at one point in time, it was next to impossible to get a pint of Guinness in Newfoundland. Go figure.
Mm, hmm. So, all right. When we're in the park at the Fundy National Park, there's actually a part of it that's a light pollution free zone.
Mm.
So when like you're there, you can really see all the stars and how dark
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's amazing. It's one thing we don't notice anymore because we're so used to looking at the sky in the city. For those of us who are in the city, that when we get to go someplace like that and you get a light pollution free zone, you get to see how dark the night actually is and how bright the stars actually
Oh
are.
yeah.
My Beaver sweetie was
And,
actually able to capture photos of the stars with just his regular camera that were like
uh,
super clear. just by leaving the
Yeah.
f-stop open a little longer. Like,
Mhm.
because we even have some where, like, if you kept it on long enough, because things move, you see the streak. It
Yeah.
was
Oh
just,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was gorgeous.
It's one of those things like you have to get out into the countryside and pretty far away from the city to see it. And I mean, like not 30, 40 minutes out of the city, like an hour and change, because closer than that, you get the glow from the city. You'll see it in the skylight, right? So it does detract from the stars. So it's
Hmm.
like a lot of urban kids have never seen the stars unless you take them way out into the countryside. They just don't see them.
Hmm.
And I've gone up to, done like a ski weekend up in the country, and you just go out and look at the stars at night while you're sitting in the hot tub. It's like, holy crap, you don't have as much light pollution in Tremblant as you do in some other communities, so you can sit in the hot tub outside in -20 and stare up at the sky and see the stars. And then you jump in the snow, then you go back into the hot tub, then you go through the cold pool, then you go back into the hot tub, then you jump in the snow again. It's kind of a fun thing to do. It's
Ah.
a bit of a shock to the system. Well, it was last Saturday. Bridget had a gift certificate for two. We went to this spa in her neighborhood. It's like a 5-minute walk away, and they've got like a sauna, a steam room, and a cold pool.
Hmm.
So I did the cold pool uh, 3 times. The first 2 times I just stood in it up to my waist. I'm like, I can't go further. It's just too much. And I got out and got under the rain shower, and then went into the sauna, then the steam, then the rain shower, then back into the cold pool. The second time, same thing. I just couldn't plunge. Third time I was able to plunge, went up to my neck, and I stayed there for maybe 30 seconds. And it was like, that's all I could handle. And then we went and sat by the fire after I warmed up. And it's like, I just want to fall asleep. I said, we're going to have to go soon, right? She goes, yeah, because we only had a 1 hour thing, right?
Mm.
I'm like, I could fall asleep right now.
Hmm.
So the cold does your body good. And there's like people that were sitting in the cold pool for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't do that. I
Nope,
can't.
I couldn't do
And
it.
it was funny. I see this guy there with this young woman, and I'm looking at him like, I think that's one of my coworkers. But I didn't say anything, because meet a coworker at a spa, and I'm in a Speedo, and not the red one, a black trunk, like it's a
Yeah.
trunk. So, and anyway, so we're sitting by the fire, and he gets up and he goes, Paul. He goes, I thought that was you. He goes, I didn't recognize you without the beard. I go, yeah, I just shaved it off. He goes, no, I saw the earring and I knew it was you. And then I heard your voice, and I'm like, well, that's definitely Paul. So, yeah, it's my girlfriend, and met his fiance, lovely young woman. Yeah, so it was an interesting Saturday afternoon, to say the least. And Bridget looks at me, she's like, do you know everyone in Ottawa? I'm like, kind of. I mean, like,
I
I've been a DJ for a very long time, so I met people in clubs, and then, I'd get invited to things and I'd meet other people. So I don't know everyone, but I do know a lot of people. And it's one of the many reasons that I stay here, because of the connections that I have. And when you know as many people as I do, it's hard to walk away from that. And in the sense that wherever I go, I always feel welcome because I know somebody wherever I go.
Mhm.
If that makes any sense, like it's a
Yep, makes
comforting
sense.
thing to me, you know,
Yep,
getting
yep, makes sense.
philosophical here.
Yeah.
I'll have one more
You're-
beer and I'll be like, you remember Don Cherry's dog?
I have
Screw Don Cherry, he's a dick, but I like this dog, man.
similar spa experience, but it was when I was in Europe when my sweetie took me to visit Romania.
Mhm.
And on the way back, I he was staying with members of extended family, and I was starting to make my way back. So I decided to treat myself to traveling Europe by train.
Mhm.
So I went all the way from the
It's the
Black
way to
Sea.
do it.
We started in Costinec
Oh,
all the way
wow.
to Amsterdam. So I'm going all the way through with a couple
All the
stops
way
along
to the
the way.
damage.
Yeah, yep. And we so we
Amsterdamage.
so we
The damage.
I stopped in Budapest and went to one of those Hungarian spas, right? So
Mhm. Where they beat you
really
with the
ornate.
reeds or whatever.
Yeah, and like an ornate decor and all that kind of stuff, right? And listen, you're butt naked in these ones. You
Mhm.
have your towel, but you're butt naked. And they had these pools that had different temperatures, so you could
Mhm.
like dip in one and dip in the other, and Because one of them, they had the colder pool, and same thing. I went in once and was like, it went to about like my kneecaps, and it's like, yeah, that's about it. And then the other time I went to about just about where my belly button was, is like, yeah, that's about it. And then
And you
and
go into that naked. It's like, remember that scene from Seinfeld? I was in the pool.
yes,
I was in the cold pool,
yes,
literally.
the cold pool. And
Shrinkage.
then
It happens. It
and I'm
happens,
seeing
kids.
people, yeah, but I'm seeing like these senior citizens like splash in and out, right? And I'm thinking, okay, like stop being such a wuss, go in there. So I'm in the warmer, not the warmest of the pools, thank God, but in the warm enough, and I do it. I just jump in, and I swear to God, for about a quarter of a second, my heart squeezed and skipped a beat. It's like what?
Mm, yeah,
I think my heart,
shock to the system.
and I stayed there for about like 25 seconds. It's like, yep, that's enough because I'm not sure my heart's gonna beat again. I think I gotta get out
Yeah.
of here.
Well, it's something too. Like I was
Ah,
reading a book about cold swimming and the advantages of cold water
mhm,
and how it's really, really good for the body. And I'm like, I know all
mhm,
that, but I still don't like it. It activates the brown fat. There's all kinds of magnificent health properties. It'll help. You can lose weight by taking cold showers frequently, believe it or not, because the way
mhm,
it changes the metabolism in your body. And it's been proven that it works. It's scientific fact. This isn't somebody speculating. This has actually all been well researched and documented. Doesn't mean I like doing it though.
mhm.
Like,
I remember one
yeah,
time.
sure. Hey, this is great, but it's still cold, man. It's cold water. No.
Yeah, I remember when I used to when back in the days when I was swimming competitively, not at the Olympic level, but one level below the masters level, right? Um, and we were doing open water swims, and we were out in Provincetown, and there's a lighthouse on the other side, and there's a race every year, or race competition. I guess it's a race as well because they are timed, where they take you out in dinghies all the way to the lighthouse like this, and then you swim from the lighthouse to a place called the Boat Slip. It's 1.4 miles.
Mhm.
Not exactly sure how much that is in kilometers. Um,
3. I don't know. I don't
Something
know.
like that. Not meters, miles. So about 2.25 kilometers.
Okay. So
So
close
open
to
water
3.
swim though,
Okay.
yeah, with waves, right? And in the Atlantic, So I've got the bodysuit, and I'm like Vaselined up on the sides, so that the water doesn't go all in, to try to keep the body
Mhm.
warm. Oh my God! I got when I got out of the water, I was the teeth were because
Yeah.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
slightly blue.
Mhm.
They brought the
Been
blankets.
there, done that. Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
it it was cold. It
You know
was
how people
cold.
do the polar bear dip on New Year's Day, right? And I've
Yeah,
asked
not a
people, "Hey, Paul,
candidate
you
for
want to
that.
do that?" I'm like, "No,
Nope,
no."
nope. I'm
"Oh,
too
come on,
soft.
it'll be fun." Nope.
Nope.
See, here's the thing. I have testicles, and I'd like to keep them on the outside of my body. And if I jump into ice cold water like that, they will go up inside my body, and I don't want
Mine will
that.
jump. Mine will jump up so fast they might not come down. That would be my
Yeah,
concern.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my
I'm like,
word! No, I am too soft for that.
okay.
Um.
So when I did my sorry, I'm just looking at some photos that Bridget took of me earlier she took the picture of me for the Twitter one. Well, as it turns out, she took a bunch of them as I was getting my clothes off.
Oh.
there's there's one that's really funny. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you in a text. I think
Okay.
it's really funny. I think it's hilarious. Well, I look ridiculous, um, and it's because I'm all torso. Most of my head is in my torso, and it looks excruciatingly long in this photo. I have a really dumb look on my face. I think it's hilarious.
Uh,
Did you get
kids,
it?
kids, if you're listening, okay, hold on. Yep, it's coming in.
It's really funny. I think it's hilarious.
All right, let's see. There you go, image.
I have
Oh my word!
silly. It's hilarious, right? The look on my face, like what? I look so much like my dad in that picture. It's kind of frightening to me, and I think I look really old in that photo too. I think it's really funny. But you can
Ooh,
see I'm all torso. Like I could have
you are all torso.
a 10-pack, right? That's
Holy
where my
crap!
height is, my torso.
Wow.
It's funny.
Jeez. I was gonna say, Kits, if you hi Kit PNC Bio, hi Kit Daily Beaver, hi Kit Elaine, hi Kit Jillian. If you have any Canada stories, some travel stories, you know, any gratitude that you want to express, or you know, not gratitude if you're a member of the Indigenous community in Canada, they mean something different from you. Please share it in the comments. We're definitely happy to read it into the show. All right, right.
Mm.
Okay, so we're at Quebec. What have you got?
Quebec. Well, I used to live in Chicoutimi. Well, I didn't live in Chicoutimi, but I say Chicoutimi because that's the area. Chicoutimi, Jonquière, La Baie. I lived in Bagotville, Basse de Bagotville, Air
Mm-hmm.
Force kid. Went to school in Jonquière, which formerly was Arvida, or Arvida. Yeah, I enjoyed my time there. I liked it very much. It's a very Franco area. There's not a lot of Anglais there. There is an English school, English elementary, primary, elementary, and high school there. There used to be two of them, but they've merged because the population is shrinking. And the reason they have it was the largest aluminium plant in the world, the largest Alcan plant in the world, is in Arvida because they smelt it there, I guess. And so you have a lot of engineers from around the world that have moved to that area to work for the Alcan plant, and as a result, they needed to have English schools. So yeah, and there's a small English community there still
Mm-hmm.
because it's it just is, and plus the kids who the Air Force kids, the base is growing. They've expanded it because it's a fighter base, it's a CF-18 base, soon to be an F-35 base once they get that aircraft operational. But yeah, it's a small Anglo community. It's a very Franco part of the country. And at one point in time, I don't know if it's still the case, but Chicoutimi was one of the fashion testing centers for North America, and I think it's 3-to-1 the ratio for females to males. So as a result, males have to really put extra effort into their appearance.
Okay.
And I remember we'd go to the mall and we thought everybody was rich because everybody was always dressed incredibly
Right.
well all the time, and that's not the case. There's a lot of poverty in that part of the country, but uh, everybody always looks good. Everybody always looks good.
Mhm.
And it's a unique part. It's a unique place. I mean, it's a major part of Quebecois culture that I learned about while living there. Of course, igloo, 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 levez ton verre,
Yep.
things like that. Carnaval. I learned about Carnaval and Caribou. For Carnaval, Caribou is they walk around with the big walking sticks. They're hollow canes that they fill with this alcoholic beverage they call Caribou, and well, you have to partake of it because it is Carnaval, but you're going to hate yourself after drinking a lot of Caribou because it's not
Is it a
super
brown liquor?
strong. No, it's a wine blend. It's a red
Okay.
wine blend with other stuff, and it just gives you the worst bloody hangover. I think it's actually sherry mixed with something else.
Okay.
It's Caribou, and I don't know if I think it's Kariboo. I could be wrong. It may be Cari, but it's Caribou the drink. You'd have to look it up to find out what's in it. But it's a nasty
There you
concoction
go.
that you have to drink because it's Carnaval. Unless, of course, you don't drink, in which case, don't. But if you do, you're going to have one, and it's gonna pack a punch, and you're going to be happy. You're going to enjoy yourself, but you're going to hate yourself the next day.
Caribou is a sweet French-Canadian alcoholic beverage composed of red wine and a spirit, usually rye whiskey, mixed 3 parts to 1, and maple syrup or sugar.
And that's why the hangover is so bad, because of the sugar.
Yep. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it packs a punch.
Une 50
No,
gros, s'il
it's
vous
not
plaît.
sangria.
Like Jillian, une 50 gros, s'il vous plaît. The really, really big bottles of 50.
Ben oui, quand je vais au Château Lafayette pour regarder un spectacle de Lucky Ron, je prends une gros 50, s'il vous plaît.
Une grosse
Like
50.
literally, if we go to the Laugh to see Lucky Ron on a Saturday afternoon, he'll be taking the stage in about 2 hours. Lucky Ron he sings
Local
old timey country songs. A local musician, old timey country, and he's been
Yep.
playing, doing this for 35 years now, I think.
Yep.
Every Saturday. He used to do it at the downstairs club, and then moved over to the Laugh when the downstairs club closed. And he's been at the Laugh ever since. He's been at the Laugh, I think, for 25 years now, if not longer. He might maybe 30 years at the Laugh now, actually, that I think about it. And it's every Saturday afternoon, and the place is packed. And everybody just comes in and has a grand old time. It's just a big kitchen party, basically, is what it is.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, and he always starts with the same 4 songs, and the 4th song is affectionately known as number 4. And you'll have people shouting, number 4, number. And he's like, what? I can't hear you. What? What's that? Oh, you want to hear a song that we like to call number 4? So yeah, and he usually finishes like with Pinball Wizard or something like that, because he was a big fan of the Who. The first time we took my dad to see him 20-some years ago, my dad's like, oh, he's old timey. I go, yeah, Johnny Cash and old time country. And then he ends. He goes, I go, now check this, Dad. Watch the encore. He goes, why? And I go, I think you're in for a surprise. And he was like, holy crap! I didn't know he could play guitar like that. I go, yeah, no, he was in a Who tribute band, like a Who cover band, and he's a musician and a local legend of a country singer, Lucky Ron. My buddy, I think, started running his website for him.
Oh, wonderful. No, I've had a
my
chance
buddy
to see
Dale.
it is. It's just this lovely, good time.
Oh, yeah. Well, my buddy Dale, we took him to see Lucky Ron back in the 90s, and he had so much fun. He's gone to every single show since.
Really?
The only time he isn't there on a Saturday, if he's on vacation. Because when he takes a vacation, he goes to another part of the world, right? He takes a proper vacation. This is the only time he's not there, is if he's on vacation. And of course, COVID, when everything was shut down for a while. But other than that, he's there every Saturday. Every Saturday. Oh yeah. Legend. Kind of a legend.
Cool. For me, my Quebec story is when I was in grade 9.
This is me in grade 9, baby.
This is me in grade 9. There was a contest, an essay contest, for kids who went to French language schools but outside of Quebec. And if you won, you were getting a 3-week all expense paid trip in Quebec.
Jen just joined.
Sorry?
Jen, happy birthday, Jen.
Happy birthday, Jen. Yay.
Hope the twins are having a good time with you today.
Yes, happy birthday, Jen's twins as well.
I just saw her in the comments, and I thought we should bring it up right away, because it is her birthday. I think that's appropriate, right? It's your birthday.
So they had this essay contest, and for kids that were going to French school outside of Quebec to have a chance to live for 3 weeks in predominantly French area by sending them all to Quebec. And we were going to have like 3 weeks of activities going all over the place and stuff.
What's the name of that community?
What do you mean?
The name of the community that you were going to, because they've been hosting Anglos there for.
No, it wasn't to a community itself. It was a group called the Canadian National Parents for French that organized this. So we were going to be going around for 3 weeks. So we were staying for a while at Notre Dame College on Queen Mary in Montreal, in the dorms there. And we went to Quebec City for a while, and then a couple of other places. But we were there for 3 weeks, so we had people from everywhere, from Yukon, Newfoundland. And we were 40 of us all together, and so. That was really, it was one of the nicest experiences of my life. It was, just a bunch of us, being kids and just happy to be together. And, and you had like 39 new friends all of a sudden, right? And you just hung out you were doing everything together for 3 weeks. So yeah, it was a wonderful, a wonderful experience. Uh, and it was, yeah, I think it was the first time I got to. It was really weird because being in Ottawa, when you're francophone in Ottawa, there's so many people that speak French, and you can live in French.
Yes. Oh yeah, you can. Absolutely, you can.
But
You can.
typically, the first language of uh, talking to people and broaching people is English
Hmm.
all the time. Um,
Oh yeah.
so it was interesting to be for 3 weeks in a place where everybody was first speaking to you, especially at that age, right, in the other language, and
Hmm.
you got to do it all the time, and even when, because the whole point was to immerse ourselves, it was even when we were on the buses and hanging out in our dorms and stuff like that, encouraging us to do stuff in French. So it was a really good experience, and we got to do like little fun things, like we went to the Vachon Cake Factory
Ben allez, oh là.
in Chambly. Is it? I
Pancakes,
think it is.
mon ami. Eh, mon
Yeah.
ami. Mwah.
Mwah, mwah. And spent a couple of days in Quebec City. Got to go to the Festival du Québec, and music festivals and just all
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
Festival du Laitier, is that one? Festival du
Yeah,
Laitier in
yeah,
Quebec City. Yeah, that's
yeah.
a big festival. Thank you very
That's a
much.
big one.
That's a massive festival. Matter of fact, I think for the some of the concerts, they have like 100,000 people that show up for some of the
Oh yeah,
concerts,
oh yeah,
and it's all free, by the way.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a
Free.
fantastic event.
Yeah, it's
Quebec
the
City.
province pays for it. It's been going on since the 50s, I think, or something
Mhm.
like that.
But a lot
It's
of
one of the
people,
oldest music festivals in the country.
yeah, a lot of people in Canada don't are maybe not aware of it. But ever since Quebec
Mhm.
City did its 400th anniversary, if you're an Anglophone and you don't speak much French, um, it's now accessible.
Oh yes,
It's now accessible
very
because there
much
was a
so.
time that people were afraid to. They would try Montreal, and that would be one thing, but they'd be afraid to go to Quebec City because they didn't think that you could get by. Um, that's not the case anymore, and
No.
it's absolutely worth it. It's one of the three.
Well,
It's
I've not been to
one of
Quebec
the three
City in a
most
long
beautiful
time,
cities. Pardon?
but it's a great city. I haven't been in a long time, but it's a great city. And yeah, Festival du Laitier, Pink played there before she played Ottawa a few years ago for Blues Fest, and she played to a crowd of 85,000
Oh
people.
yeah,
Like, just massive show. I'm like, good God. Now I don't know. Somebody told me it was free. I don't know that the tickets to the concerts are free.
mm,
I
yeah.
don't know about that.
I don't
Uh,
think that
but
it's.
I remember hearing that it was free. I'm like, what?
Hmm,
Let's check
hmm.
that out. I got to look it up because it's
You got to
bugging
look
me.
it up.
I gotta know. I got to know.
Mhm. And so yeah, that was a absolutely beautiful experience. I mean, particularly at that age, when you're like 14, 15, and you're sort of finding yourself. So to get to hang out with a whole bunch of other people and from all across the country, and get a sense of what it was almost like those Forum Jeunesse Monde. I don't know, Canada World Youth, is it? No,
Hmm.
maybe, I'm not sure what it is. Or
Okay,
those
it's not free. It's not free. An 11-day pass is $239, which is actually really cheap.
oh yeah,
That's really cheap when you consider 11 days, 11 concerts. And so who Weezer, Billy Talent, Imagine Dragons, Foo Fighters, Zach Bryan, Illenium, Pitbull, Lana Del Rey, and Green Day. Those are the biggest. Like there's other Little Dirk. I don't know who that is. Les Trois Accords. Don't know who
Les
that
Trois
is.
Accords, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Coeur de Pirate.
Yep.
I've seen
Cœur de
her
Pirate.
before. She's amazing. Milk and Bone. Let's see. Bobby Bazzini. Talk.
Mm.
Who else? Starcrawler, don't know. Jessie Reyes. Oh, she's playing on Saturday, the 8th of July. Foo Fighters and Jessie Reyes. I would love to go to that, but I can't. That's next Saturday, the 8th. I'm going to be, my buddy's got me tickets, free tickets to the Nancy Wilson show. Not the jazz singer, Nancy of Ann and Nancy
Heart?
Wilson of Heart.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a show at the NEC, so he was able to score me free tickets for it. I don't know where they are or anything. He says I won't. He says I've set them aside for you. I don't know, like they'll just assign a seat like that day or the day before, sort of thing. But I was like, yeah, I'll take them. Hell yeah.
Wow. That is.
Jessie Reyes. I love Jessie Reyes. I've seen her. I saw her play live in October of 2021. Or was it 2022? It was 2021, October 2021 at Osheaga in Montreal, and it was just a one weekend thing. They did it because Osheaga had to be canceled for 2 years, right, because of COVID. So it's gotten really loud in here all of a sudden. I was fortunate enough to see her perform at Osheaga, and she put on a banger of a show. But it was strange because they had the two stages right beside one another. And one artist would finish and the next artist would start like within 5 minutes on the next stage. And they were 60-minute sets held tight. Like they were really serious about COVID protections. So it was cool. It was a good concert. I had a really good time. It was a little chilly because it was, middle of October in Montreal. So it was a little chilly, but it wasn't too bad. But it was cool. Stayed at the Alt in Griffintown, walked up the street, hopped on the metro, took the metro over to the main station, Gare Centrale, and then took the train to Longueuil, and then you just get right off at Parc Jean Drapeau, where there's a subway stop, a metro stop right there. You get up, you walk out, and there's the entrance to the concert. Like, how cool is that,
Mm-hmm. Kit Elaine is asking, what is Snuggless eating? Snuggless is eating some very totally bland polenta that his Beaver sweetie made for him to try to settle his
Mashed
stomach.
potatoes. It's like mashed potatoes.
Yes, it is good for me, but on the taste factor, because it is completely and totally unsalted, so as to try not to disturb my stomach. Ultimately, not
Right.
very satisfying.
Polenta.
Polenta.
Polenta. I would like some
Mhm.
polenta, which is it's potatoes, isn't it?
Corn.
It's corn. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
cornmeal.
Oh,
Just,
so yeah, no,
just
that's
basically boiled cornmeal in water with a lot of extra water.
so it's almost like grits, almost
Mhm.
grits.
The other day we did it
I,
with rice and like cooked it, sort of overcook it to sort of make it a little congee like.
uh,
Settle. And it's like, do you want more rice? And it's like, ugh, I've had rice twice now. Can I have something else? How about polenta? Oh, that'll switch it up.
I might have to cut out early here because it's starting to get very busy in the pub and
Oh,
very
okay.
loud.
All right.
I'll let me just take a peek and see what's going on out here. If we're well, I'll do let's just cheat this a little bit. We're gonna do this because I can. Whoops, that'll go.
Do,
Yeah,
do,
lots of
do,
people
do,
coming in.
do, do, do,
Yeah,
do,
lots
do,
of people.
do, do, do.
Lots of people coming in right about now. So I think there's a bus that just showed up. There's probably about 50 people that just walked in.
Ah,
So yeah, I might cut it a little bit short because of that, because it's going to get really loud. I'm sure you can hear the talk, and
yep.
it's really loud for me in here. So
All right. Well, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
it's a distraction now.
Yeah. Thanks, Kid Elaine, saying feel better. Oh my God, it is the Orient Express. I told you, right, Jen? Right? I do not lie to you, kiddies. I do not lie to you. All right. Let's see if we can finish our cross country tour there. What have you got for me for Ontario, my friend? But not
Well, I
on.
was born in Toronto. Oh, it's raining right now.
Oh, is it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah,
going
my
on.
buddy just sent me a picture. He's at the Rito Center, and it is pouring out.
Yeah, there was a risk of thunder showers today.
Yeah. Well, they've been calling for it. I guess that's why the pub got busy. I guess everybody that was out on the upper patio just came inside. Yeah, it's just pouring.
That makes sense.
He sent me a message. He says, I'll pop by after a swimming pool and the sky stops dropping. Would it be a Canada Day without a torrential downpour? Nope. No,
Right.
it wouldn't be.
At some
You know,
point.
it's always either the stinkingest, hottest day of the year, or it rains, or today, a combination of the two.
Mm,
35 degrees with humidity, which is not, I mean, that's not bad for Ottawa, really. Normally the air temperature is around 33 or 34 degrees at this time, 45 with humidity, and then you add the rain in. It is a nice day to go for a walk in the rain, though, because it's hot, so it'll cool you down,
right.
which is always nice.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Um, you were saying for Ontario?
Well, I've lived in Ottawa and Toronto. I was from Toronto originally. Lived in Trenton for a while. Spent a lot of time in Kingston for work. I don't know if there's a specific memory. I mean, I've spent most of my life here, so there's so many of them. What
Mm,
could be a standout? I don't know. It's a tough call. I don't really
okay.
have. I can't think of one off the top of my head. So it's just so loud in here right now. I'm having a hard time trying to concentrate.
Sorry. For me, I've got two. One was when I was, I think, 8 or 9 when we moved into the last foster home in which I stayed. We had never gone for summer trips because, well, my mom and I, we were poor,
Mm.
so that never happened. But we were going to Niagara Falls, and we finally get to Niagara Falls, and we open the door, and I assumed that when we opened the door, we'd be at Niagara Falls, but we were at a campground. So I opened the door, and this is how we knew I was going to be gay. By the way, we open the door, and I take a look around. I look left, I look right, and I'm completely unimpressed and go, "This is Niagara Falls. This is what we drove all this time for."
Oh, honey. Yeah,
Then we actually got
yeah.
to see Niagara Falls, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought that when you traveled, you opened the door, you were there.
No,
Never
that's
occurred to me
no.
you had to have someplace to stay.
Yeah, yeah. I
And the
might I
other
might
one,
venture down to Niagara Falls before the summer is through because I love it. I love it there, and I
it's
haven't been in.
gorgeous.
It's been 2016 was the last time I went, so I think I'm due. It was Labor Day. Labor Day weekend 2016 was the last time I was down, so I'm overdue for a
Oh,
visit.
yeah, I'm more overdue. I think me was the 2000, oh my, 1992, 93 or something. It's been a long time, not in the 2000s. And the other one
Oh
was
yeah,
my first trip to Thunder Bay. Um, we were there to give a debating workshop to some students over there. And for some reason, I don't know why, but everywhere we went, people would offer us muffins. You'd walk through the door.
really?
It's like, would you like a muffin? Would you? I don't know if it's something about Thunder Bay, and I don't know if that's still a thing now. It is, but when we were there, it was like literally, we went to about 6 different people's places, and as soon as we walked through the door, it was like, "Hi, Lizzie, would you like a muffin?" And then that was the first time too, because it was summer, where I was like, I was calling back home my foster parents, and it's like, it's 9:30 at night, like, and it's still sunlight.
Yeah,
I had never seen sunlight past 10 p.m. before.
really?
I was completely
I
freaked out.
guess. Well, I used to live in northern Alberta. Well, Cold Lake, which is it's not really considered northern Alberta, but trust me, it's a couple hours north of Edmonton. It gets cold in the winter, but the sun doesn't set till 11 p.m. in the summer, and yeah, pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Mm,
Cold in the winter though. My God, -60 was not unheard of. It was
mm,
quite common actually.
mhm.
And there's days where they'll tell you that it's going to dip down to a certain temperature. Now back then everybody had a block heater, so it's like remember to plug your car in tonight. You don't need a block heater anymore because of the fuel injection, right?
Right.
And the newer technology that they have in engines. But you had to plug your car in back then, or it was not going to start the next day.
Ooh.
I don't miss those days, man. Having to plug the
Okay.
car in.
Um, I don't want you to be overwhelmed or whatnot. So how I'm gonna take my cue off you.
Oh, I can't hear you. It's that loud in
I'm
here.
saying I don't
Let's
want you
wrap
to be
up.
over. Yeah, I want to take the cue off you. You want to wrap up?
Yeah, yeah. We'll wrap it up.
Okay. So let's do that. All right. I don't have any text in front of me at the moment. So, but Kits, we'll end this a little early, unfortunately, just because it's getting a little too loud to be able to do the show for Mr. Grizzly's end. Um, we hope that you love the Canada Day special. I apologize for it not being all it could have been. Unfortunately, my tummy would not cooperate today. But I hope that over the rest of the day, you have some time to make some memories and share lots of love and laughter. Take a moment to be grateful for what it is that you love about Canada. Take a moment to remember uh, the lessons we need to learn from our past, and
Mhm.
if you have an opportunity, maybe make a little commitment to being or renew your commitment to being an engaged citizen because it's a beautiful country, and well, it wouldn't be the beautiful country that it is if you weren't in it, right? So you have a little part in
Very true.
making it as wonderful as it is. So, yeah, there you go. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Canada Day. And thank you for coming out to keep me company and helping me have a much better one than I was having. You are wonderful. You are so good to us. um, Thank you to our sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing and CanadianTarot.com. Mr. Grizzly, I normally ask for words of wisdom before we go, but if you actually have a word of gratitude or something that you love about, or a message for Canada or something, anything like that.
Okay, so I'll reiterate what I say almost every year at the same time at this day on this day, and it's observational. Canada is a dream, and we may not fully realize that dream, but I think if we continue to try working towards it, we can. We can make it a better place for everyone. And it's going to take some time. And right now, we have certain interested political parties in doing the exact opposite of unifying the nation. But we are a beautiful place to be, a beautiful place to live and love and laugh and learn. And it's going to take us time to get to the promised land. But I think someday, collectively, if we all decide to work together, we can get there. We can realize the dream that Canada is. Don't let the dream die.
Mm,
That's all I got.
yeah. And from my end, I love this place like down to my core. I mean, this is one of the reasons I do what I do with this show. And before this was a show, this was, a blog on Facebook for 10 years. Um, so, it's something I started and something to which I committed. Um, I believe that it's a beautiful country, and I believe if you say that you love it, you should know it. And that starts with some civics. That starts with knowing about your rights and your responsibilities, about your privileges and your duties. Um, it starts with that, and then from there, we just try to um, make room for each other. Even um, when somebody's obviously there are limits, but just because somebody is saying something different or coming from a different perspective, um, you know, this is a country where we hear each other out. I mean, we have the Bloc Québécois. It formed the official opposition once, and the country didn't fall apart, and we didn't break into battle, and that wouldn't happen in many other countries, right? We're a nation
You're right
that,
about that.
yeah, we're a nation of, okay, I really, 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 really don't agree with you, because, but I'm going to make room for you to say that. Yes, and I will listen politely as you say what you say. And then when it's my turn, I will tell you politely and respectfully why I disagree. um, and then we will wish each other a pleasant day, and we'll go to a cookout, and you'll make the salad, and I'll make the burgers, and we'll have a lovely meal together. Because
Just don't
that,
put any raisin in the salad, or I'll have to kick your ass. All right.
but that's
Especially the
what we do.
potato salad. If you put raisins in the potato
Oh
salad, that is
no,
grounds for divorce.
yeah, I agree. I agree
Right?
that some things are unforgivable.
Yes. Yeah. There's always someone who brings a potato salad with raisins in it, and I just want to smack them. You don't do it, but
No.
you want to.
I I I I have difficulty enough with the carrots and the raisins. Like, why would you do that to carrots, and why would you do that to raisins? They're wonderful, just not together.
They don't mix. They don't mix.
They don't.
But I do like a Hawaiian pizza. Go figure, which was invented in, of all places, Edmonton.
Yes, and I don't find much that pineapple makes a lot of things better. I'm just saying.
It actually does.
Yes,
It really does. Yeah, I know where you were going with that one. I wasn't playing into it. All right.
No.
I know what you're doing.
No. All noble on Canada Day. All pure
Okay.
thoughts on Canada
Okay. Okay. Because you know why they tell fellas to eat pineapple if you work in a certain segment of the film industry.
Oh. I did not know that. I had heard that about strawberries, but not pineapple. Okay.
Yes,
That's
pineapple.
good to know. Okay.
Yeah, improves the taste. I'm told. I'm like, I'll just sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm never gonna know.
I was trying to be a little more
Never gonna
subtle.
know.
Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Kitchen. I see you, Douglas. You know me so well. I'm just all right. So yeah, just go out there and be Canadian. Right? Do that right neighborly thing, and don't worry. Like this, we're going through a bit of a patch right now, but we'll get through it.
I'm going to steal a line from Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Be excellent to each other.
Yeah. There you go. Apologies to our kids. Yeah, our kids.
It's definitely
Yes. Apologies to our kids west of Ontario that we didn't get to finish our cross-country tour. It's not that we don't have stories, but it's a little loud here. All right, Mr. Grizzly, please, would you roll the credits?
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
So happy birthday, Canada. Happy birthday again, Kit Jen. And I don't know if you saw yesterday's episode to the end, but if you didn't, there's a special little musical number for you.
Yes, it was quite cute. And if, I don't know if they caught the we were on Dean's show yesterday, and that was a really good time. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a good time too. All right, kids, have a wonderful Canada Day. I'm going to get some rest so I can be ready for you on. Are we doing something Monday, or are we taking a holiday?
Of course we are. I have the day off. We can go for hours.
All right, Monday it is then. All right. See you soon.
I'm out. It's loud here. I got to go.